Hello and welcome to ChirpCraft. My name is Chris and today I'm doing a tutorial on IndustrialCraft Power. So this tutorial is going to go through how you upgrade your machines so they work with your upgraded generators and storage boxes. So if we start off by getting a medium voltage solar array and a high voltage solar array. Now, as you upgrade, all your other machines are going to be fine to power everything. But as soon as you get a medium voltage solar array or a high voltage, these now give off different power. And what will happen if you try to power your machines? It's the majority of the machines, not all will. Mass fabricator runs off of high, and induction furnace runs off of medium. But the rest of them, like macerator, if you try to power them with a high voltage, put it next to it, it explodes. If you try and power it with medium, it explodes. So now this video is going to tell you how to stop that from exploding and how you set it up. So I'm going to take this away because ultimately you're going to try and get to this. So I'm going to go through how you get this to work with everything. Now, the other thing that's you're going to be upgrading gradually is going to be your storage boxes. You're going to start with a back box. Then you're going to be moving up to an MFE at some point, and then you're going to be using an MFSU at some point as well. Now, this is exactly the same. With a back box, it's low voltage, which then upgrades to medium voltage, which then upgrades to the I've done the wrong one. There we go. MFE, and then MFSU, which is high voltage. Now, what you have to remember is that these also upgrade. So these low, medium, high, because they dish out that, they also only accept that. Now if I try to put the medium, which is the MFE, next to this, it explodes. If I try and put a back box next to it, it explodes. So you have to do the same system that I'm going to show you to these boxes as you do with your machine. So we'll start off by getting what is called a transformer. Now you get all these different ones. Now these are what we're going to be using: the low voltage and medium voltage. Now the high voltage you're not really going to be using much, but you'll understand what it is by these one I'm about to show you anyway, and then I'll talk about this afterwards. Now what these do, if it's a medium one, it turns high into medium, or the other way around. But generally it's always going to be coming down, and then low voltage turns medium into low. So because we need to turn this high voltage that we've got here, we want to turn it into low. We need to start by putting a medium down, and then we need a low voltage as well. Now your higher voltage always goes in by the single dot. Now in this case it's red, but I think it's 3 dots on the normal texture pack. So because we're going to be having the power go from here to here, we need the dot on this side. So it's higher power going to this, and then the lower power comes out, and the same on this one. So the higher power is coming from this into this. Now the next thing is cables. Understanding cables. So you're never really going to use an ultra low. There's no need to. You get copper so easily that you might as well start with the copper. Plus you need that to make your machines anyway, so you might as well use it. So you got copper, gold, and high voltage cable. They're quite self-explanatory. The copper's your low, your gold's your medium, and your high voltage is obviously your higher voltage. Now if you want to power this, you need to use a high voltage cable. If you try anything else, the cable explodes, because what's trying to happen is the power is trying to move from this to this through. Oh, this has now got enough power in it, so it does actually stay there. If I replace this with this, because it's now not got any, they do store a little bit of power, so now it's got no power in, it will explode again. So you have to power it with the right cable. Now this is high voltage going to medium, so you need a high voltage. Now this is going to be, all these yellow dots are now giving off medium voltage, so because of that you need a gold cable, which is your medium voltage. Now if you put a copper one in, it won't do it because I've just powered this. If I do that to show you, and a wrench on that, if I use copper, that explodes, so you have to use gold. Now what you've now done is you've made high voltage in this, turns it into medium, and then this one is taking the medium and turning it into low. Now if you get your copper cables, you can now power a macerator with it without it exploding. So now the reason you want to downgrade, because you can actually just use high voltage on all of them, well, I'm under the impression you can, and it should power, there we go, it powers, is because the high voltage loses the most power over distance. Now if you check out my how to not lose power video, you'll understand what that means, and you can learn how to actually avoid losing power. But the next to lose the most power is gold, and then it's copper, and then the one that loses the least power is glass fibre cables, which is why I use it everywhere. But these are made with diamonds, so they're very expensive, and you want to avoid using them if you can, and if you have to use them, only over short distances because they're so expensive. So you'd connect this with a copper cable, and that powers it. Now you don't have to use these blocks. This setup is generally for if you've got multiple machines. So say the macerator, an extractor, a compressor, and I wanted to power them all off this same one. If you set this up, you can then just power them all off of this. But if you didn't want to use these, and you just wanted to use a just like this, and you wanted to power one machine, so in this case the macerator, now we know that's going to explode. If we take away this wire first and put this down, we can then use those other transformers. So what these are called are transformer upgrades. Now in the macerator, we're in the menu already, on the right here you've got your upgrade slots, and by simply putting one in there, you're making this macerator accept medium voltage, but obviously this is high voltage, so you now need to add another one, and it will now accept high voltage. Now you still need to use your high voltage cable, because obviously it's still going to have high voltage going through the cable, but you connect that to that and it will power it without exploding. So that is how you can power multiple machines off of a high voltage, or just a one machine. Now if you're just doing a one machine, it's easier to just get these transformer upgrades because you don't have to use as much space. But the next thing is, say you've upgraded to a high voltage but you haven't yet got an MFSU and you've only got the MFE, you do get the same situation. So we'll get our MFE and we connect that to that, it's going to explode. Now the reason for that is because it doesn't accept high voltage, so you have to do the same thing again. So we get our medium voltage, turn that to there. Because it's high voltage, we need our high voltage cable. Now out of this is obviously coming medium voltage, so we use our medium voltage cable, and then we put our MFE. Now obviously the green dot is your output, but I didn't want to do that. If we right click it, you'll see it's getting power. So if you upgrade this before this box, you will have to do this. But obviously if you're using a medium voltage solar array, I already had one there, didn't I? If you're using a medium, sun's gone in. Let's get the sun back out. So it's powered. Yeah, it's powered. Yeah, if you're using a medium and you want to power, and the first thing you do is power, you want to power your MFSU, which is obviously high voltage. You don't have to do anything. The reason for that is because it's all handles up to, so this will get powered. So as long as you don't go over it, it's fine. So you can always power this with a medium, but this will still dish out high voltage, so you need to then do the transformers from here. So I hope that helps. If you've got any questions, just leave them in the comment section or message me. And if you've got any other questions not related to this and you got want me to do a tutorial on something else, do the same thing, comment or message me, and I'll get a video up for you. Thanks for watching. Bye.